Welcome to another edition of Talking Models. Today we're going to take a look at this beautiful piece from The Monster Speaks, which you can see is called Pure in Heart. We're going to talk a little bit what I did today to bring this one to life. But let's take a look at it first. You can see that they captured that always sad look that Lon Chaney Jr. had as he portrayed Larry Talbot in all the Wolfman films. He's got his hand over his chest, the other hand on the cane with the wolf head, as he's peering off at the moon. Maybe mid-change. Maybe it's just something the moon has caught his glance, and he's just contemplating the weight that he carries as the Wolfman. It's got his traditional shirt. You've got the pants. This is a beautiful 1/4 scale. You've got the base with the star on it. And all along the bottom of the base, you see that famous phrase, even a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolf bane blooms and the autumn moon is bright. How many remember that from the film? That famous phrase that caught all of our attention and brought fear and terror into Mr. Talbot's mind because he knew that he was going to become the Wolfman. So let's talk a little bit what I did. It was all base coated in the Krylon Automotive Gray Primer, and then of course it was sprayed with black. I left the head and the hands in the gray. Everything else was base coated black. We'll start with the base. For the base, I listed a few different colors here. Over the top of the base where the star is, I hit that with Hammer Horror Red from Freak Flex, and I sprayed that completely over every area on the top other than the star was sprayed with that red. For the star itself, I came in with Banshee's Shadow Gray, which is a nice color when you use it to shade the gray naturally. It gives it a nice blend, especially when it's used with the this color here for the Dead Guy Gray. So I sprayed the two with that, and then I wanted a slight contrast from the top to the side. I still wanted this gray, but I didn't want it as whitish gray, if you will, with the star. So I enlisted that Dead Guy's Gray. And I sprayed along the whole bottom around the base with that. Once I had that done, I came in with some metallic black, and where the top of the base meets the bottom of the base, I just simply hand brushed that in with that black, just a slight contrast. I did the same with the star. Around the star, I used that metallic black, and I simply painted in the part of the sculpt that he has here, accenting the star, and I used that metallic black for that also. Then what I did on the red is I pulled out some Graduous Colors Transparent Mars Red, and I sprayed that over the red that I had here, over the Hammer Horror Red, and it gave it a really nice tint that I really like, so I went with it. I gave it probably 2 or 3 coats of that transparent. You want to build the transparents up, and you'll get a nice, transparent paints do not destroy the paint that's underneath it, the color. It just adds another layer, if you will, and it just really does great. I love transparents. Now for the lettering itself, I tried a few different techniques. I tried to spray a different color over the gray to accent the letters. I tried doing like a wash over the letters. Finally, I said, all right, Troy, just suck it up, Buttercup, and you're going to hand paint each one. Yeah, that's what I did. Many of you remember the old Horizon Spider-Man. Remember those lines? Ugh. So what I did is I enlisted this not Sunburn Red, this is Ripper Red from Badger Freak Flex. And one at a time, I just went around the base and filled in the letters. It was a little time consuming, but once you get that rhythm going, easy peasy lemon squeezy. The base was done. That's what was simply done to the base. Took some time, but well worth it. I like the way it turned out. Now, we'll go for his shirt. Got a few different colors here for that. Actually, two I used. Graduous colors. I used their light green and their transparent medium green. So what I did with that is I hit the shirt itself with the light green, and then I came in with the transparent medium green, just started punching in the shadows. Just kind of giving it a little depth, a little different look, if you will. And so I went back and forth with that. And then I would always come in with my transparent black, re-accent the folds. Anywhere there's folds on the shirt, use that. So it was back and forth process. The light green for all the highlights, every highlighted area, raised area, if you will. Transparent medium green, transparent black, and you just shade in a shirt. It's a process. You'll see it as you get going. The trick of it is build up your shadows deep, fade them slowly to the folds, if you will, and then you hit that back with your original color, whatever color you choose to use. In this case, I used the light green. Then what I did is I just would come in like with the buttons and just kind of hit that with the medium green a little bit closer to have a slight difference from the shirt to the button. And then I called the shirt done. It really was that simple. For his pants, I always like to look, when I do my Wolfmans, I usually do the green shirt, gray pants. Sometimes I do a blue shirt, gray pants. I once did a red shirt with a khaki pants. This I simply wanted to stick with my traditional green and gray. So what I did, used a couple different colors here. Body bag black, I used that instead of the transparent black for my shading. Started out with neutral gray. You can pick that up from Jesse over Graduous Colors. Over the black, I simply sprayed it with the gray. And then you're going to come in with your black and you're going to punch in your shadows. Just kind of accent it here and there. You know, make sure you, again, the folds, go back and forth, back and forth. You want to hit like the back of his, rear of his pants, pocket areas, folds of his side pants. Just kind of build it up. You know, go a little lighter, a little closer with the airbrush. Get all your highlights in. If it gets too crazy, just quiet it down with some transparent black. And then again, punch in your shadows with the body bag black. And then also what I like to do with the pants, I like to use Nair Black, which is from Freak Flex. And I do some shading with that also. The Nair Black is it's a perfect color for accenting too with the pants because it's not black, it's not gray, but it's Nair Black, hence the name. So it was a combination of the light gray, the Nair Black, and then of course the just working those colors back and forth, back and forth. You want to hit, of course, the eyes of the pants here, the loops with the gray, and then I simply came in with body bag black for his belt, and he was done. That's his pants, that's his shirt. The cane itself, I used Nair Black, sprayed that on with the airbrush. Over the black on the top of the wolf's head, I just simply took some silver and dry brushed it, and the body's done. On to Mr. Cheney's face and hands. A few different colors we used there. Bring all these bad boys out. Quite a mixture. I used a variety of different paint manufacturers. First coat used on him was the Rose Flesh from Freak Flex. Covered the face, the hands, just punched it all in with some of that. Then what I did is I came in with, I love this series from Reaper, the Master Series, Tan Shadow and Tan Skin. So what I did with that is I kind of just misted it very lightly, thinned down with the Tan Skin. Once I had that done, I brought out some Pale Flesh from the Freak Flex line. And just started hitting the sides of the cheeks, the nose, the lips, top of the forehead, fingers. Just trying to get a different look to the flesh. It's just a different colors as I built up the layers, if you will. Then what I like to do is I get out my tan skin, the highlight of it, and I usually thin that down with some water, and I just kind of tie it all together. I spray it over it, but I also punch in the shadows of his face a little heavier with the tan shadow. Imagine that. And I just kind of punch around the nose, sides of the face, below the chin, in the ears, along the top of the where the hair face meets the hair, the fingers, all in that different areas there. The folds, everywhere you can, you just kind of punch it in with the shadows. And then once I had that, again, I go back and forth with those three colors till I get what I believe I want to have for his flesh tones. Then I pull a Graduous Colors, their Garage Kit Flesh. Love this color. And then I basically came in and just started hitting more highlights. Cheeks, top of the nose, side little parts of the nose, above the lips, the chin, parts of the ear, fingers. Kind of blend it all in. And then of course once I do that, I come back in with that tan shadow, which I thin down, and I just start punching in a little bit more of the shadows and kind of blending it all back in. And of course below his eyes and his lips, I use Transparent Mars Red, just a little bit of a distress look. Same with the lips, and then of course with the lips I like to come in a little bit with the flesh color, thin down, and just a gentle spray of that just to kind of tie it all together. And that was basically his face. Now for his eyes, we always start with the Freak Flex Bleached Dome Tan, and I basically just paint in his eyes colors with that. Body Baked Black is used for the pupil. You draw in your pupil with that. His eye color, I decided to go with blue, so I pulled out this Asphyxia Blue from Freak Flex, drew in my pupil. Well, as always, you want to leave a small hint of black on the outside of the blue, and then simply come in with a toothpick, take a very sharp point of it, dip it in your black, steady hand, take a breath, boom, boom, you got your pupils. Works every time. Trust me, it works. Now for the bottom of his eye, I used here Pink Eye Burgundy, and I thinned that down a little bit, and I just basically, under the eye here, just drew it in with the Pink Eye Burgundy, took a little bit of that, just put it in the center of between the upper and lower lip, just kind of lined it there very simply, and his eyes were done, and his lips were done. So basically the face, which left me with the hair. So for the hair over the black, I simply brought out some of this Delta Cream Coat Dark Brown, and there's so much detail in here, just dry brush heaven. Just dry brush it all, hit all the highlights. I like to go a little harder on the sides and the front of the hair just to give it a nice contrast. And then what I like to do is I come in with Transparent Dark Brown from Jesse over Graduous Colors, and I just kind of spray that over the whole hair just to kind of bring it down and give it a deeper brown look. And that gives you exactly what you're looking at here. And I also dry brush the eyebrows. There's detail in that, so simply dry brush it. And for his nails, I simply just used a couple different things. I used a little bit of the, I don't have it out here, but it's the tongue. I just kind of lightly painted that over the nails. Then I kind of just sprayed a light mixture of flesh, thinned it down, sprayed it over it. Kept a little bit of the darker color at the tip of the nails where they meet. And then some pastel blue for the veins. Just take a nice brush and just kind of tap it all in, blow it off. And then of course that seals the deal. His eyes, I used some of the Tamiya Clear. Painted a couple light coats over his eyes with a thin brush. And that is Pure in Heart by The Monster Speaks. This kit is still currently available. I recommend it highly. I passed it over and over for probably a year. And then I seen one at Wonderfest and I thought, this is a really nice kit. So I got one. So that's what I did to bring this kit Pure in Heart together. And I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope that you subscribe to this channel. I'm one away from 200. thank you everyone for subscribing to this channel, to watching these videos. The support of this channel means the world to me. Those of you that haven't, please jump aboard. I'd love to have you here. We just talk models, and one of our episodes that are going to be before this one is going to be a kit review, and I hope you enjoyed that one. If you've seen it, hope you enjoy it. I hope you bought the product. I hope you contacted Saul Alvarez at Silver Icon, Screen Icons, and said, I got to have those 2 kits. Probably saying, well, what were they? Well, watch the video, and you'll find out. So thanks again for stopping in today. And as always, may the Lord bless your day.